Galvanta here. We're in Edinburgh. Not going to be doing any pre-recorded stuff here tonight because I was here the other day doing some pre-recorded stuff, and I'm going to be doing some more of that tomorrow. I just thought I'd do a quick live on here because I was getting into position to do the M90 090 FlixBus back to Glasgow. Now it's pitch black, as you can see, so I thought, well, it was dark when I finished doing the journey through the day, from Glasgow the other day, so I thought, why not do the journey in the dark as well? Might not be too much to see on the way back, but there isn't really, to be honest. You're on the M8 for most of the time, so I'm just here. I'm just standing in this bike shelter because I'm sheltering from that wind. I don't really want to go into the bus station to do the thing because I might lose connection because the signal in the bus station is not the best. So I thought here would probably be okay to do a little bit of a stream. YX20 ODP there on 51. That's one of the X 253 buses, I think it is. Could be wrong. On the M90, we'll see the edge number in just a moment. You'll be able to see the coach that I came in on. It's very windy here, so I'm sorry if that's coming across on the audio. That's SE70GSO. I do apologise. I don't have the microphones with me, so I can't really do anything about it. I might try and look them out for tomorrow, but I've got a feeling they're probably needing charged. What I've got there at the moment for 190 exit, SF74YNL, which is 50525 on the 900. I've got a pre-recorded one of that actually, which I'm going to be uploading at some point. Just thought to stand here as well because there's not a lot of people on this side, so not that I'm bothered that anyone will realise that I'm live streaming, but I'll be streaming for about 20 minutes just now because I won't be hanging around for too long before we get a FlixBus back to Glasgow, because it's not that cold, it's just windy. But there's a few nice looking coaches in there. I might give going in there a go, chance to signal once the National Express Levante Mark III goes. The FlixBus here with its hazards on, that was the one that came off. What we've got coming in here? Citylink. That's not a Citylink, that's a funny little Citylink. Stagecoach Volvo Elite. Twin axle YX64WDA X59 for Northwest Depot. That's probably actually going all the way to St Andrews at the moment. That could be the last one going full way from here. And on the X95 to Hoyk is SN69ZNL. That doesn't actually go all the way to Carlisle anymore. You have to change at Hoyk or Shields, and you have a half-hour change. So the timetable for that the other night. Got 909 to Dunblane down there, and I think it's an interdeck. Of course it would be. Why would it be anything else? Yep, X95, a route coming to the channel next year. And it's got the X95 livery on it, well, vinyl I think it's called. I'm sure that's an X253 vehicle. I'm sure it is. X59 bus full, that doesn't surprise me. I'm not going to be surprised if I see that tomorrow when I'm coming to Edinburgh here in Fairmont. I'm only doing that because I've got a feeling that the city links are going to be full. You know, with the Christmas market being on. That's why X67 UPA. So they must be running extra X59s, unless that one's running late. What we've got coming in? Nothing at the moment. Well, we have something coming in now, a Decker. And it's X62. Ooh, YN16 CFU. Now, isn't that the only Scania and Enviro 400 MMC that Edinburgh buses have? I think it might be. Might be wrong. Could be wrong. Hello to Bus Tom, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing alright. I'll try and read through as many of your messages as I can when they come up. If it says reconnecting at any point during the stream, I do apologise guys, but the signal around here is not that good. I'm standing in a bit where I think I can get a reasonable signal and do a stream at the same time. Now that's what I came to be on, S-Drive 23 HVD, the Volvo 9700. I do like these 9700s, I will admit. Andy says hi, how you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, I'll get the next 900. I was going to say the next 900. The next 090. I'm still getting used to using the 090. But if I'm being honest, it's actually not a bad service. Every half an hour, it's not busy. It's not that busy at all. That's 183 National Express. BV23ZXG. She's asking where am I? Just outside Edinburgh bus station, mate. Only going to be here for a short time because I'm doing the 090 return journey. It was done in the dark on the way through, so I'm doing the return journey in the dark on the way back. So what's that we've got on the one? It's the Volvo Evora on the 102 to Dumfries. Another route coming soon to the channel. At some point next year, I don't know when. And that's SD74KRJ. Now I'm hearing that they're getting Evoras for the X95. That would be nice. Really nice. Nora Gallagher says hi. Hello, hope you're doing alright. What's that one behind it? Sammy's Lane, number 4. Okay. On the Rathel-Coaches Scania YT24BUJ. I haven't a clue where Sammy's Lane is, but there must be one called that somewhere. And that's the Saturno Levante on the 183. Glasgow, that's just come up from Birmingham, I think. Via Leicester, Newcastle and Edinburgh. Yep, we will be going back down to Newcastle for a bit of spotting at some point. I'm thinking maybe February, possibly for that. YX18 LKP on the X55. Although I might be going down to Newcastle to visit a friend of mine at some point next month, so we might be able to get a bit of spotting done then as well. Just having a look to see if there's anything coming in. No, there's not. So we'll see this Saturno Levante departing when the lights change. It should be in any second now, I think. I'm only going to be streaming for a little while. What time's it just now? Let's have a look. 5:25. We'll say 5:45, roughly. Because I need to get the coach back to Glasgow. I might do a stream in Glasgow actually if I get time. Because I was thinking about going to Glasgow tomorrow, but St Mirren and Celtic are playing in the cup final, and I've got a feeling that Glasgow is going to be heaving through here as well. Christmas shopping, but I'd rather it was heaving with Christmas shopping than heaving with football supporters. Look there. bike cars boxing the coach from getting through, so ah well, and my stomach's telling me it's tea time. And someone's saying add a question and answer sticker, pineapple on pizza. Well, we don't really do food on this channel, but my stomach's telling me it's dinner time. I'm getting a wee bit hungry actually, so I might have something to eat in Glasgow. Although I've got some stuff in the freezer that I could cook. LSK 513 on the 900 to Glasgow via Bailison. I might actually cook something when I get home, we'll see. But anyway, enough about dinner. That can wait. What we've got here, SE70GSO, Parks of Hamilton, Scotland's driving force. And coming in is a Yutong at GT12 of McLean's M92 S23 C23, I beg your pardon, MCL. I was going to say we'll try and go into the bus station, I think, and have a look at one of the stances down there, but I think I would probably lose connection, so I think we'll just wait here. I was going to give it a go, but I don't know. Right, there's nothing coming in at the moment. Excuse me. So how is everyone? Everyone all set for Christmas? Wish I was. I soon will be though. Got a few things ordered online which arrived this morning. One thing arrived last night. More stuff arrived this morning. That's a Levante that's following me around quite a bit. YX63NGV. What's the fleet number of that one actually? 54212. I can't really zoom in because it doesn't let me do that for some reason. Sneaking in under the radar is a Tartan Traveller. That's what I should probably call this channel. The Tartan Traveller. YX69LCE on the 900. Nah, I like the Alba Gallivanter there. That's why I picked that name. Someone actually asked me, when you chose that name for your channel, how did it come? How did it become? And I thought, well, I remember I was in Dunfermline bus station one day thinking about setting up some sort of social media, and I thought, shall I be doing it on X? Shall it be on Twitter? And I thought, nah, give YouTube a go. And that's where the name the Alba Gallivanter came from, because I'm someone who loves to travel. Gallivanter, Alba being the old Gaelic word for Scotland, Scottish guy. I thought it would just make sense. Now, and that's handy, that 4x4's blocking the view of the 9700DD. Okay. I'll get another view of that once these lights change. So what we've got down here coming out at the moment, nothing. Right, so I'll focus my attention back to this. It's SF74IMJ50523. That's the fleet number. Don't know what that's going to be going on to. Something tells me it's going to be nice. I apologise about the wind, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. That's why I'm trying to stay on this side where all the bikes and that are. It's not clever crossing on the red man. Waiting for the coach to get through here. That FlixBus that I was telling you about. There's an ambulance turned up and turned out someone on board one of the coaches are taken out. Certainly hope they're doing alright, if I'm being honest. It's not nice when someone takes out on board a bus. I remember one day, in fact I'll go in here and I'll tell you this story. It's actually a true story, this. I was in Falkirk town centre and I was chatting to this little wife, this little older woman, and she suddenly grabbed her chest and collapsed. Without thinking, I took my phone out and called an ambulance. I certainly hope she was doing alright. I was thinking about her the whole night after that. Not pleasant at all. But thankfully an ambulance turned up within minutes on blue lights. So hopefully she was okay. Didn't hear anything back after it. B8 departing for Dunfermline, that'll be the same one that we saw coming in. See it departing anyway, that's for sure. I'll tell you a little funny story about a B8 in just a moment. That's YX18 LKP on the X55 to Dunfermline. Now, it's actually quite appropriate we've got that one sitting there. I'm going to give a shout out to my mate Dave. Someone's shouting something daft there, I don't know what that is. My mate Dave got on an X55 in Dunfermline one day and asked, does this go to Livingston? He thought it was going to Livingston. And I thought, okay. I wasn't there at the time, or else I would have captured it on camera if I could have done, and I would have uploaded the video. I wasn't with him at the time when that happened. I'm sorry. I was encouraged to say that on one of my social medias. I wasn't going to, but nah, I don't see anything. So if you're watching, oh look Dave, there's the bus going to Livingston. Oh no, it's not, it's Dunfermline, because we're in Edinburgh. I'm only joking. I'm only kidding. Now, Volvo Panorama, one of the megabus ones. Actually, hearing that the M11 and M20 are coming off as of the 22nd of December, and it'll be no more. So if we are travelling down to England to do any bus spotting or full routes, it will have to be with National Express or FlixBus. Or there's also a train, obviously, YX18 LKU on X55. Anything else coming in? Yes, we have. H24MCL M92 to Aberdeen. Now, I think that was the coach. And we got back up from Cardiff. I think it was. From Penzance this year. Now, back to the Reno 9. It's actually nice seeing a panorama instead of an interdeck doing it. If I was going back to Stirling just now, I'd be happy to take that. YX69 LCF, London calling. London calling, mate. Yes, that's right, girl. And that's a poor London accent, Gallivanter. Shut up and stick to your normal accent. Nothing I was going to say nothing moving, but that's now moving. I don't understand the layout of the megabus panoramas inside, because they only have they've got the one set of double seats on the passenger side and then nothing to that door that you can see just there. And then on the passenger side they've got about 4 or 5 seats. I've never fully understood the layout for that. And on 51 to Lauder and then Gala Shields is YX200 ODP as we saw it coming in. But there's the McLean's GT12 that I was telling you about, Yutong GT12. H24 MCL and Stagecoach double axle Elite YX67 UPD. Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Jack if he's watching. He left a message on the channel last night saying it's good to see me doing lives again. Glad you're enjoying them if you're watching tonight. I'm glad anybody is that's watching the lives if they're enjoying them. Now, that's another X59 that's just leaving. I can see it through the dirty windows of that bike rack, but I'm not going to focus through that. Once the lights change, this 200mm seal will move out the way. You'll see the Elite, which I think is also saying a bus full. This is nice because the Christmas market's on, and it's really, really busy going by what I've been hearing. Like 64WDA there, 54316. I nearly said 315, that would be another vehicle. WAZ maybe, I don't know. I don't have my book with me that shows the fleet numbers. Sorry, the wind nearly blew my phone out of my hand there. Nothing in just now. I might actually chance it and go into one of the stances to see what the signal is like once I see these two depart. Hopefully it doesn't say connecting on mine. If it does, please bear with me and I'll come straight back out here. Right, there's nothing down there coming in at the moment. Tomorrow, when we're through here again, I'm going to try and do a live down at Princess Street, although that will be mobbed. So I might not be able to do too much down there. And we'll try and get some Lothian vehicles. I might have to go somewhere a little bit off the beaten track for that, maybe the airport or somewhere like that. I might have to think a little bit about that. Where would be a good spot? I've got a few ideas. I'm thinking maybe North Bridge, maybe Princess Street if it's absolutely mobbed. We can try North Bridge, or we can try the airport. Maybe even down here, York Place. That'll be another good one. It does look pretty full, that coach. Maybe not completely full, but it does look pretty busy, if I'm being honest. As you see, YN16 CFQ departing on X62 to Peebles. That's actually quite a long run to Peebles, but I've done it before. On a nice sunny day, a summer's day, it's actually a nice run. But it's a long one, it's about 2.5 hours. That route is actually on the channel, both ways. Now here's one that I want to do for the channel, X61 YX66WOH. Terminating at leaving now. It's now going all the way to St Andrews with the timetable changes that Stagecoach have brought in. Now apologies I didn't get the fleet number of that one, I'll get it when it departs. I should have brought my little book with me, but unfortunately I forgot it. I'll try and remember it tomorrow. I'll be streaming for a little bit longer, not too much longer, because we'll be doing a live stream tomorrow. I'm intending to do a little bit down here tomorrow at some point as well, as some Lothian stuff in Princess Street. Probably do some streaming on the way through as well. I'm intending to do more streaming going forward now, as well as pre-recorded stuff. Yeah, that's encouraging people to text Doddy. LSK 513 there on the 900. Yeah, that's something to do with Doddy Beer. That football player is to do with a brain injury, I think he had, if I remember rightly. I don't know too much about rugby. Now, we've got McLean's Yutong parking up, I think. Right, this is a good opportunity to go in and see if it... Now, apologies if the signal goes, I do apologise. There's a Lothian just passing there. Now, if the signal goes here, folks, I do apologise, but I'll come straight back out if it does. I'm going to stand outside on one of these platforms down there and try and get the vehicles that are across the road parked up. But the signal CL sitting over there, I believe. SG24UHE FlixBus, which I think might be my taxi back to Glasgow. And the Interdeck YX63NGV. As we see, YX18, that's LKU, I think, departing on X55 to Dunfermline. Actually, I think the signal has gone. Right, we'll get back outside. Oh, sorry. Right, we're back outside now. Braving this wind. That's YX18 LKU. Sorry if the signal went there, folks. I had a funny feeling it probably would. So get back into position here for a little bit longer. At least we saw what's parked up anyway. So coming in. Oh, the FlixBus 010 or 010, whatever you like to call it. Yutong GT12. We'll see that in a minute. We see YX18 LKU 54512 departing on X55 to Dunfermline. That's SG24UHW. If I'm being honest, I would actually take one of those all the way down to London. I think 010 is the London service, isn't it? I've never taken the FlixBus all that way. I've only really used them within Scotland. I've taken them as far north as Aberdeen. And, well, obviously I've done it to Inverness as well because I've made a start on these routes. But never taken it all the way to London. But yes, it's definitely one I would consider. I know there's an 090 sitting there parked up, but I'll get the next one, I think. That's his McGill's anyway, so it might be coming off service. YX69 LCE Tartan Traveller on 900 to Glasgow. What have we got over there? X62. Can't really make it out. These two cars are blocking the junction. See it coming in anyway. That Tartan Traveller is 50409 fleet number. My intention was to start this live stream is the second I got off the coach in Edinburgh here from Glasgow, but I kind of had to go to the Giants. So enough said about that. I wasn't going to tell you that, and probably shouldn't have. Well, I can see that its next stop is Princess Street, with the next stop announcement thing on it. Now, I'll tell you my filming plans for the next few days once this X62 pulls in. That's SN69ZNH. Borders buses, I believe, don't have fleet numbers. I don't think West Coast Motors bother with that either, because Borders buses are owned by West Coast Motors. I recognise the guy driving that bus. He looks like someone that used to drive for Mackie's Coaches in Alloa. It's the same guy. I don't think it's the same guy, but he certainly looks like him. Tram going to the airport down there. I've got a few videos of the tram to upload at some point. I've got quite a few videos on my phone that can be uploaded over the festive period. My intention is not to do any on Christmas Day or New Year's Day. I'll do a little live to wish you guys a happy Christmas, and I'm going to do one at the Bells on New Year's Eve, or Hogmanay as we call it here in Scotland as well, if I can get a connection, that is, because it'll be mega busy. I'm going away for New Year, going away with a family member, not saying where we're off to, because, well, we're going to East Lothian. We've got family over that area, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, my filming trips over the next couple of days. Tomorrow I'm through here doing a live. We're going to do a live in Glasgow on the way back tonight, maybe for half an hour or so. We might actually. I was thinking we might go back via Glasgow tomorrow, but I'm not so sure. I might shelve that idea. Monday, I'm thinking about possibly Fife or Perth, maybe a combination of both. Do some spotting, maybe. How does this sound for Monday? Dunfermline bus station, Holbeath Park and Ride, and Ferrytown, maybe with a little bit of Glenothes bus station as well. I'm only saying Glenothes, maybe. That might be something for another day. After that, we'll head up to Perth Broxden, do a bit of spotting up there. How does that sound? Tuesday, I'm not sure about. Well, Tuesday, I'm probably just going to be local because I'm going up to visit a friend on Tuesday night, so I'll probably just be local on Tuesday. There's not much way of transport coming and going at the moment, but the FlixBus is about to depart. Yeah, tomorrow's trip to Inverness, I've decided to put that back to Thursday. I'll need to have a look at the channel and see what still needs to be done, and decide what I'm going to put off till January. I'll need to make a few decisions about that. I might even have to do a video on that, possibly. SC24UHW departing after just coming up from London. That'll be something for the summertime, I think. I'll need to look at the timetable, and I would have to arrange accommodation as well, because I would probably have to go down, do the journey down one day and the return journey the following day. Just due to the timetable. So yeah, that's my plans for the festive period. 29th of January, I'll be hopefully doing a trip to Aberdeen actually. I might do FlixBus 091 or 092. I know I said I wouldn't be doing any full routes over the festive period, but I think I might change my mind on that, depending on what needs done. But we'll see. Nothing coming in yet? No, nothing yet. Could actually have got that one back to Glasgow, but it's not an 090, so it doesn't count in my opinion. I'm sorry. So we'll continue this. It's just gone 10 to 6 now. We'll continue the stream for a little while longer. I'm actually enjoying this one, and I'll get a coach. I'll get the coach maybe in about half an hour or so. I'll need to find out when it is on the timetable. Right, on the X61 to Leven, well, Holbeath Park and Ride for Leven is YX66WOH 53814. If you like your fleet numbers. I didn't get the fleet number of that GT12 actually, if I'm being honest. Don't know what the guy's peeping at. It's not me anyway. Don't know. Right, what have we got? What have we got departing now? Nothing. I think that 090 to Glasgow is going to be departing in a few minutes. Now, I'd like to know people's thoughts on that. Volvo B8 54517 YX18 LLC, a recent transfer back to Perth from Dunfermline Depot. Sorry, that's LLA I'm thinking on. I know there's been a few transfers, so I need to actually get my head round what transfer has been transferred and what hasn't. LLC's not ever been to Dunfermline as far as I remember. But what's your thoughts on the new livery? I like it. It's a lot better than the yellow, blanding yellow. Or as I called it, the banana bus. So we've got SG23 HWT pulling away. I'm going to put my bag down, there's no point in me carrying the bag at the same time. On the 090 to Glasgow. My intention is to do all FlixBus routes within Scotland. Potentially, might even do them all within the UK. Someone once asked me would I consider doing continental journeys. Not at the moment, but the channel is always expanding, so you never know. But not at this moment. Anything pulling in? Not yet. Hopefully we'll see that very, very soon. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll see this FlixBus depart. Got a Rabbie's mini coach, Mercedes Sprinter pulling in. I know someone who used to drive for them. Personal friend of mine. Now on the 190 to Glasgow, as I said, SG23 HVT. We'll see that one depart, I think. And then I'll have to think about getting into position for the return journey. I might even go and get a coffee. I fell asleep in the 190 coming through because the driver had the heating on and it was roasting. I fell asleep for a little while. Can't say that's anything unusual. Coming in. Oh, nice. Bay Travel P888 BAY VDL. We'll see that one going in. Just now, nothing. Not LLC, Volvo B8's LLC D&E. I've never been at Dunfermline Depot. As far as I can remember, it was LLA that started off at Inverness Depot, then went to Dunfermline. But we'll talk more about that in a sec. P888, BAY, nice VDL Futura. Most people might think that they're not the nicest of coaches, but to be honest, they're alright. There's a lot worse. There's a lot worse out there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of interdecks, I'm sorry, I'm not. They're the street light of coaches, in my opinion. That's actually an offence to an interdeck to call it that. I don't mean any offence with that. Anyway, as I was saying, YX18 LLC D&E, I've never been at Dunfermline Depot, but LXZ, LKZ, I beg your pardon, and LKY, I think, have transferred from Dunfermline to Inverness as extra capacity for the X56 route. SV11, one SV11s was out on X56 the other day, and I think it was LLC, it might be an LLD, I can't remember which one, was on the 1580 Sterling. Now that's actually not as rare as you might think. You might think that's mega rare. It's not. I've seen them in Sterling a few times, and believe it or not, I've actually seen the odd Volvo B8 doing CityLink M8. One of them actually went up to Inverness one day, I believe. It was covering for a breakdown. I can imagine one of those doing that. It would be really nice, don't get me wrong. They are really nice vehicles, but they've no toilet on board. And the luggage capacity is not that great either, if I'm being honest with what I'm hearing. STRI24 HWP pulling in on the 900. That's 50510. And Stagecoach Elite YX64WDD. Not sounding too healthy, if I'm being honest. Well, we'll see that one depart, and you'll see what I mean. You'll hear what I mean. SN69ZNG on the X95. Tell you what, we'll see that Elite depart, and I'll probably have to curtail the stream after that, as I'll need to think about getting into position for the 090 return journey. It's not the matter of timetable getting back to Glasgow, it's the fact that I've got to get from Glasgow back to the Forth Valley area, Tillicoultry to be exact, and sometimes it's not the easiest. Anyway, we got anything coming in? No, we haven't. No, not at the moment. So, yeah, going back to what I was talking about, it's actually not as rare as you might think. A 15A being operated by a Volvo B8. Pleasant, don't get me wrong, but it's not that rare. Mainly it's Enviro 300s, the odd 400 MMC that do it. There's nothing departing at the moment, so let's see if there's anything coming in again. No, there's a lot. Well, there is now. X59 Glenrothes for St Andrews, YX64WCY, 54. Get the proper fleet number in sec. That is, I don't know. I know it's an Elite, twin axle. But fleet number, I'm not sure. I should have brought my little book with me. I'll try and remember it tomorrow. I've got a little book where I've got all the fleet numbers written down. McGill's, Stagecoach, CityLink, etc, etc. But I left it at home, didn't I? Silly fool. That's the Lothian number 11 just passing away down there in the distance. We'll see a bit more now tomorrow. It's forecast for heavy rain tomorrow. I'm hoping it's not going to be that bad. I'm hoping that the weather's maybe got it slightly wrong. It wouldn't be a first if they did. So we want to hear that noisy, throaty sounding Elite departing, and then I'll probably have to say cheerio for now. I'll do a live in Glasgow once we get there. Beforehand I wasn't able to do all this because I didn't have the data on my phone to do it, but I've upgraded my data allowance. I've now got unlimited, so I can do as much as this as I want. And I've got my power bank with me, fully charged, and I'm trying not to use it. I'm trying to use the USB ports available on a bus, because if the power is available to you, why use your own power? That's what I'm saying. Why use the power bank if the power is available elsewhere? Right, that's LLC departing on the X56. I can just see that away in the distance there. I've actually done the X56 route in full on the channel. It's actually really good. Really enjoyed it. You see a lot of the motorway quite a lot, but hey. Have we got anything coming in? Nope. I'm actually hoping that maybe I will be able to finish off the Dunfermline routes that I need to finish off at some point in January. As you see, 54517 departing on the X56 to Perth. Another route that you can find on the channel. But what's everyone's opinion on these B8s and that new livery? I think it's really quite nice to suit it. Now, behind this Sprinter is the throaty sounding Elite. I'll give you the fleet number so I can see it, and then I'll go quiet and hear it. 44318. You'll hear what I mean as soon as these lights change. Which should be any sign now, really, to be honest. These are the ones changing yet? No, not yet. Here we go. The green man comes on. Okay. Well, I'll let you see the Elite thing and you'll hear what I mean about it sounding very throaty. We'll be in position in the stance over there for the return trip to Glasgow. Filming that. That video will be available on the channel later on this evening, or possibly sometime tomorrow. Tablet with me so I can do some editing on that once recording's complete. Now, have a listen to this. Yep, definitely sounding a bit throaty, that one, if I'm being honest. Definitely. Although I've heard a lot worse. I was on one last Saturday night, SV08 FXT, based through at Bannockburn Depot, the Volvo Gemini, and it sounded very, very throaty. I had my headphones on and I could still hear it through these, and it was stinking of diesel as well. That's SN69ZNH, which is on the X62. That's 15183 line 64 AKK. We'll see that one as a recorded video, and I'll upload that one at some point. some point soon. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I'll bring you back when we reach Glasgow. I'm going to do a little stream through there for a little while, maybe half an hour or so. This one was a little longer than I intended it to be, but hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you in a little while.